Coming to our next slide, the sessions and the timelines. There are two intakes in the US University. One is in fall, which is August and September, and the second is spring, which is Jan and Feb. In case you're planning to apply for fall 2020, this is the right time for you to start thinking about it or to start taking the test. In case you're thinking about spring, this is the time for you to visit all the IDP offices and apply to US universities. How much time will it take? Now, this is a very important question. Basically, how much time would it take you to complete the application process and go to US to study? It is important at least 6 months in advance you take the test, may it be IELTS, GRE, or GMAT. Please note there are some US universities which only requires IELTS. They don't need GRE, GMAT, or SAT at an undergrad level. You can speak to any of the IDP counselor and they can help you identify those universities. You take the test, you can even register for IELTS through IDP, so you can visit our office and talk to the counselor. We help you select the university depending on your profile. If you're looking at a university which is lesser in cost, we can definitely provide you with that university. If you're looking at a university at a particular location in the US, we can help you identify that university. We can help you prepare the application packet, which we're going to discuss it in next slides. What does it entail? Then the admission decisions comes at least 1.5 months prior to your departure. We will help you with your I-20 or getting your I-20. We can help you with your finances, and then the admission decision is given by US University. At the end, there is visa, which we will help you with. We will help you prepare for the mock interviews, and at the end, it would be the pre-departure sessions, which is taken by all the offices in India for all the students who are going this year for US University. Coming to the next slide, degree offered. At an undergrad level, as I already mentioned in the previous slides, undergraduation is of 4 years. It could be any degree, which is Bachelor's of Engineering, Bachelor of Science or Mathematics, and a graduate degree is of 2 years. If you're looking at an MBA, it could vary from 1 year to 2 years. If you're looking at MS Business Analytics or Data Sciences, it could also vary from 1 year to 1.5 years. As we were talking about the flexibility in the curriculum, you can actually complete your degree earlier than what is mentioned by the US University. Coming to our next slide, components of the application packet or components of the application. What is it that you would have to submit to US University? First and foremost is the application form, which is usually there online, and the IDP counselors could actually help you fill up that. It is a very general information that they require, but it needs to be filled correctly. Statement of purpose and essays, which my colleague would talk about it in detail. What should it entail? How it should be. The important point to note is to identify what is the question asked, or what is it that they're asking in a statement of purpose. And at an undergraduate level, there are some questions asked. At a graduate level, specifically masters, they just tell you to write an essay. Probably at an MBA level, they might ask again some questions. Transcripts are basically your mark sheets, which needs to be sealed and attested and shared with US University. Again, the counselors would help you to identify how to submit an application or transcript to the US University. Letters of recommendation, which is a very important aspect in the application component. It is definitely different from statement of purpose. Letters of recommendation would be given by the references, and make sure you check with the counselor at ITP what kind of letter of recommendations is required and what is their specification. CV and resume. My colleague would give you a differentiation between statement of purpose and resume. A resume would be all about facts, what you have done earlier, and a statement of purpose would be elaborated. So it needs to be 1 page, not more than 1 page. Lastly, test scores. Test scores is something which is GRE, GMAT, IELTS, SAT, or TOEFL. Please note for all the master's program, you might have to take or you will have to take IELTS. The GRE is not mandatory with some universities. When it comes to undergraduate, SAT is required, but by not all US universities, but IELTS or TOEFL would be required by most of the US universities. University admission success factors. A successful applicant should show the following points in their application. They should have a story as to why they want to do this particular course in this particular university, what has been their motivation to do that particular course in the university, and what is their plan or long-term goal or short-term goal. Maturity, how mature candidate are they? Do they have any leadership skills? Are they working in a team? So this is the kind of maturity, or how long have they been studying a particular course and what do they know about that course is something at a master's level the US university would want to look at. Evidence, if you're stating at an undergraduate level that you worked in a NGO, they need to have an evidence for it, or they need to have certificate for it. And somehow, how is it that you're going to portray that information in your statement of purpose? Is the kind of evidence they're seeking from. Even a letter of recommendation is something as an evidence. The letter of recommendation by a person or by a faculty proves that you've studied in that particular university and you had been there, or you have evolved as a person from what you were in your first year and what you have become in your corresponding years. Skills and articulateness. It is again very important when you're putting in your application what are the skills that you would want to highlight and how well you want to articulate the skills that you have in your statement of purpose or in your letter of recommendation is something which is very important. And these are some of the facts that you should know when you're submitting an application to a US university. Please note, US universities look at holistic application. There is not one aspect in your application which would make or break your admission to a US university. Every aspect is looked at when they're evaluating an application. Some of the components which are improvable factor as an applicant. For example, standardized test scores, project grades, rank, subject is something that cannot be improved. Whatever projects that you've done or whatever grades that you had cannot be improved. Standardized test score is something which is again a little improvable factor, but there are some students who would say that I cannot score a certain score or I cannot have more than X score. Beyond that, I would not be able to score well. So please note that statement of purpose, letters of recommendation, and CV is or a resume is something which is very important when you're writing or submitting your application. It is something that you could improve on. What is done or what is bygone is bygone. You cannot improve on it further. But what you need or what you can improve is your statement of purpose, personal statement, or letters of recommendation.